Hi, welcome back. Today's garden project is making super powder out of those often neglected garden greens. You know, the radish leaves and the broccoli leaves and the celery tops that get ignored. They are actually packed full of vitamins and nutrients and are an excellent addition to your diet. So today I'm going to make use of those. I've got down to the garden and I've already collected myself a variety of the celery tops, Swiss chard, spinach, kale, radish greens, broccoli greens, whatever I could find for this project today. I've got them rinsed up. The only thing you want to make sure that you do is you want to make sure that you remove the stems from any of the greens. We don't want any tough woody stems inside our magical super powder. So remove those greens first, or the stems first, and then give that to your chickens. The rest go in the pot. We're going to rinse them, and then you stick them into a steamer for 2 minutes. After they're done steaming, you just want to lay them out onto a towel or paper towel, and then use another towel or paper towel to just kind of sop up the excess water. When they're done, they're going to look like this. I'm going to let them sit out here on this paper towel for about an hour. And then, so they'll be sort of air dry, but not completely. And then I'm going to stick them in my dehydrator. They need to go in at 135 for 2 to 4 hours. Just be sure to keep an eye on it. We just want them to be completely crispy so that when they're all finished, all we have to do is stick them in an herb grinder or a blender or a food processor and grind it up into that super powder magic. You can use a fine sieve, a mesh strainer to run it through, and then any big pieces put back into the food processor or blender or grinder to whittle it back down to get the very smallest pieces. Then you're going to just want to store your super powder in a clean glass jar with a tight fitting lid or a plastic bag that seals in a cupboard, and you're good to go, and it will last you forever and ever. You can use it in smoothies, soups, stews, salads. If you have kids that don't eat vegetables, they do now. They get plenty of greens thanks to your super powder. So it's just such an easy thing to make, and it's using up your neglected foods in the garden, and it's going to make everybody healthier. Win, win, win. You can't go wrong with this project. So I've gone ahead and I've steamed my greens for 2 minutes. And now I've just pulled them out of the steamer, and I'm going to lay them on this paper towel. You can lay them on a tea towel or any kind of towel, anything that you have. And then I'm just going to try to get the excess water off of them. And then I'm going to let them sit here for a little while and air dry, maybe for about an hour or so. And then I'll go ahead and place them in the dehydrator. Okay, I've got my greens all rinsed and air dried for the most part, and they are on the dehydrator racks ready to go. Okay, our greens are dehydrated. Took about 2.5 hours in the dehydrator. And now I've got them in my food processor, and I'm going to beat them up into a powder. My food processor only gets it so small, but we really want it into powder or dust. So I'm actually working it through my fine mesh sieve. I have an herb grinder that would probably do the trick, but it is wet right now. So I am improvising and just pushing it through the fine mesh strainer is helping to create the dust. So work with what you got. Okay, we've got it all powdered up and jarred. And now it can join the rest of my collection. I will add a label to that just so I don't forget, but the smell makes it quite obvious also. But we did it! So easy, right? Thanks so much for joining me this time. I hope it's inspired you to make your own super powder for your garden pantry. If you liked this video, it'd be kind of rad if you liked it. And maybe even cool if you shared it. But whatever you do, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And you can also find me over at Instagram and Facebook at Big Family Living, where I'm sharing our everyday happenings. Thanks again. Happy gardening.